What's going on? It's been a crazy couple weeks, y'all. I want to let y'all know that I have not stopped my fight.
But they were supposed to follow the law, and that's the problem we have. You follow the law and you don't run into issues and problems like this.
How old were you then when you were told the story of how your mom met Jay-Z?
For nearly 10 years, a man named Rymir Satterthwaite has stood firmly behind one claim, that he is the unacknowledged son of rap icon Jay-Z. Despite facing countless court battles, endless rejections, and strong denials from Jay-Z's legal team, Rymir has never backed down. Recently, he shocked both critics and supporters when he suddenly dropped his federal lawsuit against the music mogul. At first glance, it may look like he gave up. But Rymir insists that this is not the end of his journey. It is simply a new beginning. According to him, what may seem like a retreat is really a strategy, and the fight for truth is far from over. Even those who closely followed this long, tangled story were stunned by his decision.
She fully started telling me stories, I guess, when I could better understand as I got older. It was really like 10 or 11, and that's when she started telling me, like, this is your dad, and showing me little pictures that she did have of him, and little clips, I guess, from shows, whatever. This was little. I was so young, I didn't fully understand.
After years of legal filings and public statements, why would he suddenly step back? Rymir explains that his move is not surrender, but a calculated adjustment. He believes that the legal system, as it stands, has been corrupted and compromised, and fighting in the same way over and over again would only lead to more disappointment. To him, a different path is the only way forward. This case is not about headlines or chasing fame, at least not from Rymir's perspective. It is, in his words, about truth, identity, and closure. To understand why he continues to pursue this battle, one must go back to the very beginning of his accusations. Back in 2010, Rymir first went public with his claims against Jay-Z. He insisted that all he ever wanted was a simple DNA test that could prove once and for all whether the rapper was his biological father. The root of his belief came from his late mother, Wanda Satterthwaite. Wanda, according to Rymir, confided in him before her passing that she had a brief relationship with Jay-Z in the early 1990s, long before the fame, before Beyoncé, and before the billion-dollar empire. That revelation became the heart of his story, the foundation of his search for answers. Yet, the courts have never been convinced. Over the years, judges have dismissed his cases repeatedly, citing a lack of evidence or procedural mistakes. One court ruling from 1994 even named another man, Robert Graves, as Rymir's legal father, which Jay-Z's lawyers have often used to shut down his claims. For Jay-Z's camp, that old paternity finding should have ended the conversation decades ago. But for Rymir, it was just another obstacle in his search for recognition. Despite rejection after rejection, Rymir did not stop. In interviews, he often stated that this was not about wealth or fame. It was about knowing who he truly is. He felt that powerful lawyers, clever tactics, and loopholes in the system were being used to silence him at every turn. By 2022, his frustration had reached a breaking point. That year, a New Jersey judge issued a rare and powerful injunction against him. The order barred Rymir from filing any more lawsuits against Jay-Z without first getting special approval from the court. For many observers, this seemed like the system's final word, as if the legal world had decided it was done with the case. But Rymir saw it differently. He said he had not even been informed about the injunction before it was enforced. According to him, it was done unfairly, without notice or a chance to speak on his own behalf. That, he insists, made the order invalid. Since then, he has been working to overturn it, while at the same time accusing Jay-Z's legal team of misconduct, dishonesty, and even corruption in the courts. Through it all, one point has never changed. Jay-Z has never taken a DNA test. For Rymir, this is the biggest sign that something is being hidden. He argues that if Jay-Z has nothing to hide, a simple test would have ended this entire saga long ago. Instead, Rymir believes the refusal speaks volumes. Over the years, he has even claimed that people close to Jay-Z have tried to pay him off with hush money. These alleged offers, according to him, were meant to make the problem disappear quietly. He says he refused them all, declaring that no amount of money could ever replace the truth. To him, this is not about a paycheck, but about justice and identity. Not everyone believes him. Some view his mission as nothing more than a publicity stunt. Others argue that his timing, constant interviews, and repeated lawsuits suggest that he is more interested in attention than truth. Critics point to inconsistencies, missed deadlines, and legal errors that have plagued his filings. Supporters, however, say the opposite. They see a man fighting against a system stacked against him, determined to uncover the truth no matter how many doors are slammed in his face. Jay-Z, for his part, has never publicly spoken about Rymir's claims. He has not addressed them in music, interviews, or even in casual conversations. His silence has left the work to his attorneys, who have consistently dismissed the story as baseless and harassing. In official filings, they have referred to the accusations as fabricated and legally meritless, describing Rymir's persistence as an abuse of the courts. They argue that the injunction of 2022 was not only justified, but necessary to stop years of wasteful and repetitive litigation. From their perspective, Rymir's behavior borders on obsession. They claim he has turned an old allegation into a media circus, dragging Jay-Z's name through the mud for attention. They also highlight that the federal lawsuit dismissal in 2025 shows once again that his claims cannot stand in court. Still, Rymir's decision to withdraw the federal case in July 2025 took many by surprise. Why would someone who fought for so long suddenly back down? To him, the answer is simple. This was not a defeat, but a new strategy. He explained that the system, as it operates, is corrupt and does not offer him a fair chance. Rather than wasting more time under the same restrictions, he is exploring other methods: appeals, requests for public documents, and possibly new types of legal action that avoid direct paternity claims, but still put pressure on Jay-Z. In other words, he is not finished. He is just changing tactics. In public remarks, Rymir has made it clear that he will continue fighting for as long as it takes, even if it means spending the rest of his life demanding a DNA test. He vows to use every tool available to expose what he believes is the truth. Yet this relentless pursuit has sparked debate even among his supporters. Some wonder if his mission has gone from a search for identity to an unhealthy obsession. After so many rejections, court losses, and setbacks, is it still about truth, or has it become something else entirely? That question remains at the center of the entire story. What exactly does Rymir want? To some, his goal is pure and human. He is simply a man trying to find out who he truly is, seeking closure about his father's identity. To others, it looks more like a performance, driven by timing, media attention, and the lure of a settlement or even a documentary deal. Rumors have swirled that Rymir is exploring a book or a film project, though nothing has been confirmed. Even so, speculation has fueled the idea that his fight may be less about truth and more about pressure. Jay-Z's legal team has hinted at this, suggesting that the real goal is leverage, not justice. Still, one question continues to linger. If Jay-Z has nothing to hide, why not take a DNA test and end the speculation once and for all? That unanswered piece keeps the story alive, no matter how many lawsuits are dismissed. For now, the saga remains unresolved, hanging in the space between truth and doubt. Rymir Satterthwaite insists he will not stop until he has proof, while Jay-Z's team maintains that the case has no merit and should have ended years ago. Whether this is a fight for justice, a battle for recognition, or simply a man's obsession, one thing is certain: this story is far from over. At the end of the day, this story leaves us with more questions than answers. For over a decade, Rymir Satterthwaite has been fighting for recognition, demanding only one thing: a DNA test that could put everything to rest. Yet, despite countless filings, appeals, and rejections, that simple test has never been taken. Supporters see his fight as a search for truth and identity, while critics argue it's gone too far and become an obsession. What remains undeniable is the mystery. If the claims are false, why not take the test and close this chapter forever? If they are true, then we are witnessing one of the most shocking family revelations in music history. Either way, the silence fuels the fire, and the battle continues. Rymir insists this is not about money or fame, but about closure and justice. Jay-Z's team insists it's harassment, nothing more. And caught between those two sides is the public, still wondering, who is telling the truth? So what do you think? Persistence for justice, or an endless pursuit built on speculation? One thing is certain, this saga is far from over.